Hey guys, it's a new Paragon video for you. I know it's been a little while since the last one, like a week, and I'm sorry for that for you Paragon lovers. I am sorry for that, but I have some great news for you. I'm going to be focusing on Paragon on the channel a lot more, like way more. So if you like Paragon, this is the time for you. But moving forward anyway to this video, we have something new for you today. Man, I say that every time I do these gameplay style videos, and every time you guys have responded to my theme, I guess, really well. But then I've gone on to do another thing every single time. I mean, at least the result's been positive. But anyway, you guys have been asking me all over the comments, especially on streams, about jungling. It is radically different to how it used to be, and I completely understand your confusion or your misunderstanding of what it is to be a jungler and what it is you're supposed to do, what's best to do. So I'm using today's video as a platform to help you learn jungle. Whether you consider this relevant or not, I play against and with many competitive players who play in the competitive scene or Paragon. I watch them play because I started casting now. I play at Diamond Elo. I'm friends with many of these players. I talk to them about builds, strategy, gameplay, advice. At this point, I feel stronger in Paragon than I ever have, and I still have so much to learn. And I feel like it'd be a really great idea for me to share as much as I've learned from these great players as I can with you guys. So in this video today, we're going to do something different. I'm going to take a gameplay that I had today that wasn't amazing, but wasn't terrible either. Most YouTubers, and I do it myself, show you our best games, show our most entertaining games, our most fun games, the awesome games. And that makes sense because we're trying to do something that's entertaining to you. But today, I'm going to show you a game that went well, but I made mistakes. Because you learn from your mistakes more than you learn from your success. And even though I made some great plays in this gameplay, I made some poor choices too. And I'm actually going to learn from watching this gameplay back and talking over it with you guys. I'm going to improve as a player while I do this. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to tell you why I'm making the choices I'm making and give you general advice on jungling as a whole. I hope this video to be something ideal for someone trying to learn jungle. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the video. While I was giving you all that information, you were watching me do my standard jungle pathing. This advice came from Blood Mortius, one of the best junglers in the game. By starting in the middle camp and then going straight to green, I'm able to use the shield to effectively take the next camp at the back and then go straight to the furthest camp where it explodes to clean up every single camp with minimum damage. At that point, it's usually around the 220 mark, so I've got roughly 40 seconds to clean up what I can before I go to the river buffs. That might be one jungle minion, or if I've done it really well, two. This is really XP efficient, and it also keeps your health at a good level. You can do this route on every single jungle character. I really recommend it. However, some other junglers, like the great JLeogrande, I've seen them start and do every single white, then take green, then take one normal white camp, and then go to the buff at the same time I would. The reason that this route exists compared to the one that I showed in this video is that you'll have more shield for a potential fight, but you'll also have slightly less CP. You basically need to decide which do you want more? The ability to farm faster in the early game, or maybe you can gank really early with that shield given the scenario. Maybe you should pick and choose between games. Maybe you should make that choice based on what character you're playing. Some are better at ganking earlier than others. Crunch is probably best to gank at level 5, whereas someone like Grux can do it at level 2. It really depends. Okay, so shoot back to the game that we're actually looking at. I'm over here getting that 3-minute first spawn of the river buff, and I happen to get blue. Using my Sevarog siphon, I get the stack off it. Obviously, you should do that every time. You get the mana it costs, and it's awesome. You know, you get a free stack every time you get a river buff for Sevarog. And I have a quick look at the map and check the surroundings. I see the solo lanes by their tower, so that's not possible to gank. I see that mid's missing, so they've either gone back, or very likely they've gone to the other river buffs to secure that, and I can't get that. And at that point, I could go back into my jungle on green side and, you know, kill some tier 1 white camps and get okay XP, but it's not great, right? Or I could just use the jump boost, which I did, come to the off lane side and get the 4-stack camps for maximum CP and XP, and of course get these lovely and delicious stacks. Something to consider about what you're watching right now is that I'm playing Sevarog, so I need to try to get as many minions around the same health pool and then kill them all at once with Siphon or another ability to get those stacks, whereas any other character like Grux or Rampage or whoever, you know, you just kill them as fast as possible, specifically focusing one down so you take less damage as fast as possible. But Sevarog's kind of a unique case, right? Anyway, we kind of finish off these camps, we have a look around, they're pressuring this tower, but it looks okay, and it's time for me to go back and spend my first points. At this point, we pick up a ward, a Sage's ward, just to give me something to work with, you know? Basically, ward up the area, give me that good vision, secure the buffs, know where the enemy jungler is, prevent ganks on my teammates. A ward this early can be huge, and especially if you're making big use of it as the jungler, which is what I hope to do in this game. I'm going to need to kill some time here because the river buffs are coming up at the 5-minute mark now, and what I'll need to do is wait until they spawn. But I need to be there when they're spawning, not go once they've spawned, which would then give time for the enemy to go over there. Be there as it's spawning. So anyway, to do that, to kill that time, I kill one tier 1 camp, and then I clean up this ward that we spotted. It does take a few swings to kill this, but that's completely fine. We're still waiting, right? We've got to wait for the 5-minute mark. The river buff hasn't spawned yet, so I'd just be stood there waiting. So that was kind of ideal for me to get some CP off a ward. We get really lucky here and get the invis river buff, sorry. So I have a look in mid. He's gone. I think he's going over to the other buff. It looks like he did grab it, and here he is, right? So I call for help because I'm going to go for a gank here. I'm solo queue, by the way, so no communication of any kind. He randomly throws out a rock and it hits me, you know, to try and attack the enemy, but it hits me. But we're all good, man. It was super straightforward. The guy used his blink when my teammate was ready, and he was ready because I called that I need help and showed him on the map. Maybe he had vision on me. Maybe he knew I was there just as we went through that fog wall. I'm not sure, but, you know, it didn't do too much to me. He's too low level to hurt me, really. Easily secure the kill there with a long range route and the bomb of the gadget, and from there it's about setting up those wards and setting up vision, just like I said. We're going to cheekily ward that spot on the stairwell. I've shown that in a few videos. Such a good spot, guys. Such a good spot. It gives you vision over the amber link and the camp and green buff, and of course that information's vital because I'll know where the enemy jungler is, which will give me a, you know, an advantage, a clear advantage when I make my ganks, because I'll go gank the other side of the map or mid when I know he's not nearby, and I'll know he's not nearby because I'll know where he is because of that ward. And while I was there, I realized, hang on, he's nowhere in sight. Green buff's up. We steal the green buff, which is huge. That's good CP that we've taken from the enemy that we otherwise wouldn't normally have, and we're taking it away from him. And a valuable shield that's going to help me clear up these next 2 camps that we just took, which is fantastic. This beginning is amazing. We have a kill, right? That was awesome. We have really good CP from the jungle. We've been doing it very effectively and efficiently. We've done a good job of securing 2 river buffs. We've de-warded, and we've set up some great vision here. We've got this area secure left side of the map. We have their jungle warded, and we have the gank spot right here. We're back at 7 minutes, right on time for the next river buff securing it. What do we get? We get black buff, which is fantastic. We've got the mana that we need for this gank. It's black buff, so it's going to increase the damage that we do. This should be an easy kill. I ping that I'm on my way, then I spam attack, go, go, go. And that sucks. I go for the ult for the damage. It was going to be good, but how it's used is mine. Not necessarily his fault or my fault. Just bad, like, lack of communication and timing. If we were on voice, I would have been like, all right, I'm going to ult him and then you can have mine, because my positioning on someone to ult them is less reliable than his mine, because he can free aim the mine. My ult requires me to be in a specific spot. So in that situation, it's better for me to ult first than him mine. But again, we're not on voice. It's not his fault. There's no I'm going to ult first command. And we got the kill anyway. It was all fine, you know? So we get that mid kill on the carry as well, which is great. So mid has a kill now. We killed the carry. We're pressuring this tier 1. They call let's push it, so that's exactly what we do, and we just go for it. We have all the minions. Their carry's not there. We see where their mid is. I have vision in the jungle, so I know that the jungle is not there to stop us. That was an ideal situation for us. We get the carry, we get the kill, we pressure, we take an early tower, and especially it's the solo lane tower, not the carry tower. So that's ideal for the solo laner because it's not going to mean he loses farm. Whereas if we killed the farm lane's tower, they would lose safe farm because their solo lane that they're fighting will be further back. So that's fantastic. A kill, a tower, more jungle farm. We have, how many is that? Like 5 cow points coming up once we clean these up. Our stacks are doing well. This is great. Like, the point I'm emphasizing right now is this start is fantastic. And river buffs are coming up as well. So I'm considering, right, I've got no mana. River buffs are coming up. I need to secure them. I'm going to ward. That's a great ward spot because it shows the prime pit and also the in front of the river buff as well. Yeah, so though I do have a lot of cow points to spend right now, I've got to make sure that I keep this secured, because if I do take it, then maybe I can get a gank, right? Or maybe I don't. You know, I do have like a lot of cow points to get right here, but at the end of the day, I'm taking it away from them. I noticed that they didn't even take the other one, so we managed to secure both river buffs there. Instead of going back spending 5 CP, I take both river buffs from the enemy, and we're going to take this invis and red buff, which is going to increase the damage I do. This is going to be amazing. Wait for the team because they were doing gold. Now we go on. We wait for the right opportunity, land the snare, land the ult, knocking away from safety. We're just going to keep beating on him. This is fantastic. Almost getting him, but he walks away. The dash doesn't quite get me out of the ult there from Gideon, which confused me. I don't know how that happened. Maybe it was a bug. I know it pulls you in, right? But the distance I got from the dash, I should have been able to just walk away, then secure the kill on Kwang, which absolutely sucks. I have no idea what happened there. Maybe it was a bug. That shouldn't have happened. I should have walked out. But nonetheless, we turn around, we kill the Gideon, who couldn't really kill anyone there. Kwang manages to barely escape our grasp. But look at this. If I remember right, he goes through mid, running in a really weird path. Yeah, look, there he is. He's dead. So somehow Gadget kills that Kwang. He was completely out, and he must have taken a silly route, not realizing I wasn't behind him, because fair enough, a bug prevented me from keeping up with him, which was bullshit. But he should have checked behind him, maybe. You know, you can always run in a straight line, jump while you're in the air from the jump, look behind you, spin back around, and then he would know no one's chasing him, and he's fine. But look at that. He manages to outplay himself and gets killed by the Gadget. So we pick up our early Shadow Scroll that has 111 upgrades in it, power upgrades, and we're going to keep farming. Right side of my jungle hasn't been cleared for a little bit of time, and they're all at 5 stacks. So that's fantastic for me as a Sevarog, because obviously those 5-stack camps are awesome for getting these stacks in the early game, and we pick one up. See that there's a potential gank happening here. We know that he's used his blink already. We land the snare, fantastic. I don't throw snares generally unless I know I'm going to hit them. And this is all convenient as hell, because I get to ward the raptor camp right in that crack. That's such a good spot. It gives you vision of the river buff. It prevents ganks from mid, and of course the enemy jungler, and it also gives vision on raptors, which is really important. And just as that's happening, we get the river buff spawn, so that's great. We get red, and I immediately go over to the other side, get the other river buff, so I'm getting all my mana back that I spent from that fight, and of course cleaning up the camps that I have, which is great. And they don't get any of the buffs either, so I'm doing a fantastic job of securing the early game. We steal green, we ward up perfectly as well, back on that stairwell, so we know when their jungler is going to be there. So just, man, the advantages we're taking in the early game, I'm so happy I managed to show you this. This game does have its ups, it has its downs. I said that at the beginning, you know, this isn't the perfect game. I know it looks like it is right now. They managed to steal my green, by the way, at some point, so we're just going to clear these whites with their green. We traded 1 for 1 in a way. They got my green, I got theirs. I'm happy about it because now I have green to help me secure these stacks, which I only get 2 there because Subjugate isn't leveled, so that's unfortunate. I had to use a siphon there, an extra siphon. Whatever, it's completely fine. And we're cleaning up these camps that were 5 stacks and 4 stacks. Now, the thing about jungle is you need to remember that it's better to be killing multiples, not ones. So if one spawns, just let it get more. Don't waste your time. Go somewhere else. Be more effective with your time. Okay, so over here I see that potential gank. There's 2 people out of position. Easy kill right here. We have 3 team members, and for some reason my team did not back me up even remotely there. So I'm going to give you a quick replay because I didn't properly cover that. Here it is. We have an easy gank. Their carry and the other guy, they're out of position. We want to kill the carry. I have 3 team members. They're pressuring them at the gold buff. They're completely wedged in. We have kills. And I'm stood there wondering where the hell they are. And eventually the enemy team realizes I'm stood there alone, and they kill me, and we get nothing from it, and I die. And I remember saying in chat, guys, what the hell was that? Like, I wasn't necessarily toxic about it, but I did say, why didn't you just come in? I mean, you just made me stand there, and I didn't need to die. And I immediately got 2 pings, sorry about that. So they all understood, yeah, we just made a mistake. I don't know, looking back at it, I definitely should have made the decision that my team aren't coming in for some reason. I got to get out of here faster. But I guess I was kind of expecting them to help me, so maybe I made that mistake. Anyway, we get our Adamant Edge and we sell our Oasis Siphon to finish it. We have some amazing early game damage right now. We're a genuine threat. We're doing so well in this game. We have 2 tier 1 towers. We've stolen green twice. We're securing the river bus so well. Our vision is fantastic with this ward that we pick up that we never actually put anything in, by the way. And the position of the wards have been great. On the Raptor camp, on the stairs in the enemy jungle, and of course at the prime. We have both sides covered for river buffs. That's why we've been able to secure them so well, and we've been able to steal green twice because of that vision that we've had. So if anything you've learned from the video so far, it's that vision control and vision itself is so useful for a jungler. It gives you the information you need to make your decisions. You'll note that throughout the whole game so far, I've been making my decisions based on what I know. Generally, it's based on, alright, is there a river buff up right now? Is there a river buff spawning? What's going to spawn? What do I know, right? Well, if I'm going to go for a gank, first I'm going to think, alright, where's the enemy jungler going to be? What's mid doing right now? What's the likelihood of this gank succeeding or failing? Either way, I noticed there's a big fight happening elsewhere on the map. I'm hoping that the enemy are distracted, and this might give me time to really pound on this tower, or maybe even kill it. So I use my ult to just try and push as fast as I can, and also use my siphon to just get it in there. But someone, I think it was Quang, came to stop me, and that's unfortunate. We throw down kind of a lazy ward there to just get out of the situation. I'm like, oh, hey, this is a carry. I can kill this. Oh, no, he's getting back up. All right, I'll just leave. So we see 3 people chasing me from their jungle. I see black buff. Maybe I can turn this around on him. No, I get snared. That's unfortunate. At this point, I'm pretty dead, but maybe I can jump away. I line of sight. I go round. I realize I'm going in a really obvious path, so maybe Murdoch's going to ult me, so I turn around. I hear Gideon blink, and that's the end of me. I don't know whether I could have made it out of that situation alive. I did go really deep. The decision to go that deep was based upon a fight happening at the other side of the map, but they all rotated so fucking quick. They may have been grouped. They may have just been good players. I'm not sure. Looking back at it and thinking about it, I guess I should have backed faster. As soon as they all disappeared from the map when I was pushing that tier 2, I should have just made the decision. Alright, this doesn't look good. We got to get out of here. Instead of using my ult and siphoning and trying to push the lane before I leave, think about the fact that there's a bunch of enemies rushing towards me. Let's prevent them from killing me and leave before they can get me. Okay, so this seems like a good time to talk about the build. Primarily, I'm using a build given to me by Blood, right? He's a fantastic Sevarog player, one of the best, arguably the best. The dude knows his Sevarog. He gives me a lot of guidance and a lot of advice, but despite that, I still want to test things out myself. EU competitive players and NA competitive players have their differences, right? And that definitely shows in builds. Arguably the best NA jungler, probably the best NA jungler, JLeo, is using a different build to Blood. So today I was trying out JLeo's build. Thankfully, JLeo's finally posted up his builds for jungle that he's using on Monolith on his website, the Team Reborn website. So it's linked in the description, along with a direct link to his Sevarog build that we're using in this video. You'll note that he's using Blink Charm and Tainted Magic. Blink Charm gives him escapes and amazing initiations where he can blink in behind the enemy and then suddenly ult them back into his team. That might be picked up when he's noticing that it's hard to use dash to get in there and do that exact thing effectively. Tainted Magic is a hard counter to Rampage, which is fantastic because Rampage is so fucking good right now. Whether he's jungle or support, he's very popular. Tainted Magic is a hard counter to him because it prevents him from healing while he's in his ult. It also gives Sevarog a nice boost of damage, so it's still a good pickup even if there isn't a Rampage. I've noticed a progression through the builds that JLeo's been using when it comes to Shadow Scrolls, especially with Sevarog. Shadow Scroll allows you to do more damage with your abilities, and Sevarog is definitely an ability-based jungler. Everyone starts with base armor, and if you can pick up some armor pen-based items like a Shadow Scroll, you can increase the damage you do, more so in the early game, even though potentially your targets aren't building armor yet. I've seen him run way more Shadow Scrolls than this in his Sevarog build, and it looks like he's finally toned it back. We have solid armor and health depending on what you need, strike tokens and shaman drinks and hunter drinks to allow him to get some regen, whether it be for health or mana when he doesn't quite have the points to finish an item. The type of stuff you pick up as filler before you go back, sell it, and then finish your item. Let's say you go back at some point and you have 2 car points, but you can't quite afford your free cost upgrade. Then just buy 2 strike tokens or a shaman's drink and a strike token. Now you've got more mana regen, now you've got more damage, and you sell them when you go back when you need to. It's a really solid build and one that I'm really enjoying using. Definitely check out the Team Reborn website if you want more builds. Unfortunately, the guys over there aren't updating the website as effectively or as efficiently as we would all hope. And that's because people are changing their build so much, especially on Monolith. Like I'm saying there about the Shadow Scroll thing, everyone's changing their minds, everyone's testing stuff. And the thing is, JLeo seems to have an idea of what he wants from his builds right now at last. And so he's finally posted them. Hopefully the rest of the team do the same at some point, right? Anyway, enough about builds. We're over here back in the game picking up the 17-minute river buff. We get blue buff, which is great. It's going to give us some mana regen. I use that mana regen to get an efficient dash to just get to the other side and pick up the next one, which is red buff. I have green, blue, and red, and I see a steal out position. Oh boy, I'm rubbing my hands together. We don't even need to root him. He walks right back into me. Thanks, mate. He's doing some weird side steps. I think about ulting him, but I'm like, I can get it without. Awesome. Still got that red buff. Still got green buff. I see Kalari pressuring my gadget. Looks good. Maybe I can even get here. And I'm like, all right, well, gadget can come back in. This looks good. I land a nice double root, then the siphon, then the ult. It looks good. I've nearly got him. And oh my god, I just barely pick him up as I die to the Gideon ult. And of course, the minions that were wailing on me as well. That's right. We just picked up a triple kill. And I was looking around like, all right, gadget, can you pick up the... Can you kill the... Where's gadget? So it turns out I was actually solo there against the three of them. We killed the Steel, Kalari, and the carry Murdoch all by ourselves while Gadget ran home. She actually pinged sorry about that after it happened, realizing that, oh, maybe I should have helped him because by himself he killed 3. Maybe I could have helped him kill 4 and kept him alive as well. But again, it looked like a weird situation, and I can understand her decision to run away. Given the game, I start to build basic armor. We're against a Kalari, we're against a Murdoch, right? The carry. They're doing the primary amount of their damage through auto attacks. Of course, they also have Steel, who's doing the same thing. Not all of them are, right? But I just feel like basic armor is going to help me more. Basic armor is going to help me do jungle. It's going to help me kill raptors. It's a pretty important stat, and it's one that I decide to go with in this game, given what I'm against, and given that I feel that I need to be tanky against that specific trait. Maybe in your own games you face more ability, or again, it depends what you're against and what you need. Hell, you could build a second Shadow Scroll here instead because you're doing so crazy well and no one's really contesting you and you're not really dying. You don't need the armor, right? But in this situation, I definitely did. Okay, a little bit further in the future here, we see Kalari going in for a kill on mid, and I do something interesting here, right? I ult her, then I root her, then I land the killing blow. The reason that I did it in that order is because I knew I could land the killing blow. If she pressed stealth the moment I ulted her, I would still know exactly where she was going to land because that's the distance she's going to travel when I ulted her. While she's in stealth and rooted, I'd be able to tell she's there, stuck and rooted, because damage would have come up when I hit her with the root. From there, I could just walk over and hit her with a siphon. The idea was to kill her while she was in stealth, but apparently she just didn't have her stealth there, and I didn't need to do it in that order. Could have just maybe hit her and killed her. Nonetheless, it doesn't matter. We landed the kill. But something interesting to think about there is that when you ult as Sevarog, they're always going to go like a set distance, especially if there's no terrain. You know the way that they go up in the arcing motion. They're generally going to land in the same area. So you can ult someone and then put a route down where they're going to land, which is oh so fantastic. Anyway, here I'm calling retreat because it looks like, you know, they're going to get caught out of position and really messed up, but they go for it. I cancel my recall here. We try and ult the Gideon, but for some reason it doesn't hit him. He was just slightly too high, so I should have jumped before I ult, which is really unfortunate. Nonetheless, we still pick up the kill, and we're going for the next target, which is, of course, the carry. In the back, there's some pressure going on, but we need to pick up the carry, and I figure, you know, he's got Blink Charm, he might get away. I need to stick by these guys because they might not get it. I don't have enough mana right now to root, but we get the kill anyway, thanks to Gadget's long-range mine. So, a couple of misplays here. I see Kalari coming on me. I'm desperately praying that team can help me out. I'm trying to bait her and dodge around, but she does eventually catch me, and that really sucks. And now Gadget's realized, but she's got no mana, so she couldn't help me anyway. There we go. We managed to pick up the kill on Quang for it. So, there was 3 of them for 2 of us. Overall, it's a good trade. But I did call retreat in the first place. I did say let's not go for it, and they went for it anyway. But thankfully, I swallowed my decision, right? Yes, I thought retreat was the better call there, but my team were going to go for it. So I backed them up instead of recalling, and the result was a 3 for 2. Definitely in our favor. One minor thing, though. My ult didn't hit the Gideon, which led to everything that happened after that. Not doing the damage to kill him, not doing the knock away to cancel the ult to save me a lot of health. Maybe I wouldn't have died there. Maybe the whole thing would have worked out a lot better had my ult connected with that Gideon. To be perfectly honest with you, it fucking looked like it did. But here's a rule. If you're going to ult someone, especially Gideon, just jump before you do it and make sure it hits. Alright, well, in the future here, we've respawned. We spent some more points. It's all good. We got green buff. Oh ho ho ho. A purple buff, I'll take it. I don't know what that was, this weird laugh that I just did. But hey, I've got purple buff, I've got green. It's kind of late game right now. The next fight, the next pick can decide the game in a way. We can get a tier 2 off it maybe. We could get a prime off it maybe. This is really important for them not to get caught out and really important for us to try and pick someone. So I'm going in with Invis. They have a ward, they spot me. I find Quang and Kalari, that's fine. Double root, double ult, looks good. I see Gideon come in, I try and dash away, I dash into the wall, not very efficient. I get steel ulted. Holy shit, I just got absolutely bombarded, but it's alright. They just put so fucking much into killing me, and hopefully we can catch more from this. Gideon teleports, he should die to that Murdoch ult, but he misses it because his angle was really way too low for some reason, which is unfortunate, but nonetheless, they just used so many of their resources, and they actually had a team member die. So we trade 1 for 1. Now we're going to pressure this tier 2. I can only hope that my team are good enough to know that this is a free tier 2, and it looks like they are. We are playing at diamond level. Remember, it's really good gameplay coming out from both sides generally. That steel wall, for example, just saved them. We should have that tier 2 tower right now, if not for that steel placing that wall in that right spot. Really great. Did you see that? I'm going to get a replay of that. Long range stun from the Decker. Amazing. How he follows up and Gadget throws the mine and it actually fucking killed them, which then allows us to pressure the tower and get the kill. And then the steal. He made a great play with his wall earlier and misplaces that wall so badly that it did nothing, and we get the tier 2 tower, which is awesome. Meanwhile, on the left lane, minions are pushing in and we get 2 tier 2 towers, which is awesome. We get 2 kills, 2 tier 2s. That's awesome, and I've respawned. I have some bad news though. The enemy fully commit to engaging off of that, and they do kill a few of my team members, which sucks. Looking back on it, that random ward that revealed me was really unlucky, but I still managed to tank a lot of the enemy ults, and of course, keep those ults from hitting my carry, who got to do what he wanted, resulting in a tier 2. Obviously, I wish it would have been more clean though, and if I hadn't dashed into a wall, maybe it would have. Because they got a couple of picks, they decided to keep up the pressure, which is a good idea, and push our tier 2. I see that an invis river buff has spawned, and I know if I can grab that, maybe we can get a couple picks instead of just defending. Unfortunately, Murdoch spots me just as I do that. I'm like, alright, you've rused me, you've got a ward, I'm gonna get out of here. I know you're by yourself, but we had that situation earlier, didn't we, where that didn't work out. Kalari's here too, apparently. Holy shit, she rotated quick. We double ult to try and escape. We're just gonna go the other way. Alright, it's all good. Holy shit, there's a Gideon here. Holy shit, another team member. Gideon ult. Okay, all 5 of them just fucking appear out of fucking what felt like nowhere and blow everything on me again. While I was in stealth, by the way. Both situations, both deaths there. Same situation. Really weird. But that's great. You know, they blew everything on me, the tank, and we get a kill from it, and I hit a double ult again. So, I still do my job. It's just, if I hadn't been caught out there, it obviously would have been a lot better. But it caused a fight to happen, and now the enemy are really low. They've got low mana. They've not got their ults. The team should be able to clean up here. Sadly, inefficient chasing going on right now. They don't actually kill anyone, and no one dies on either side, so a little bit sad, I guess. However, moving swiftly on, I just depush. We get to the max stacks here, or rather the max level of armor. We can still get to 200 stacks, and I notice there's something happening mid, so I rotate immediately. This could be it. This could be prime after this. We get a big Decker wall. I root the carry and just take him out instantly. Howitzer with the Decker wall was really good. Steal big ult, but amazing Gadget ult to counter it. I ult him straight back into the team, knowing that we can just pick him up. We've picked up multiple people. Kalari ults into her fucking death. She just gets absolutely destroyed. I'm not sure what she was thinking there. Her whole team was dead except for a Steel, who was, you know, fucking dead anyway. He was about to die. She just decided to back him up. I guess she did it from base and maybe couldn't see what was actually happening, and, well, it was quite the mistake. Now, yes, someone calls Prime in that moment, but I ping go mid and someone else pings go mid because we don't need Prime to take this inhib, and I'll tell you what, we probably don't need Prime to take the game. The only defender is Gideon, who, to be fair, does have his ult, who could clean up the minions that we need to go for the core. I'm just going to go for it, though. I want to keep going. The team are going. I checked that the carry is still going, and he is. That's all that matters. All 4 of us just dive in the core. We have 1 minion to lower the amount of armor it has. There's the Gideon ult I was talking about. I just immediately ping him away. Thank God it goes through that time. And he's away. Look at where my carry is. I'm checking the position of Gideon versus the carry, and the carry's nowhere near him. Nonetheless, Murdoch respawns. Absolutely cleans him up with that ult. I just give him a 1-tap for, you know, letting him know, hey, how dare you kill my carry? Then we take the victory. fucking awesome. If you take a look at my stats right now, we have 7 kills, 6 deaths, and only 5 assists. But I was there for many of the important fights, and there were multiple occasions where I managed to do a huge amount of damage to specific targets like Kalari and Kwang, multiple times actually, and then take the majority of their initiation, their damage, and their ults, resulting in me, the tank, tanking most of the damage, leaving the carries and the casters to not take that damage and not die and do what they needed to do. For me, it kind of sucks that I died in the way that I did, and again, being able to reflect on this and watch my own gameplay is really good. I really enjoyed playing that game. Obviously, I had some good team members, and they made the plays that I needed them to, and we won the game, which is what's important. Overall, I was really happy with the way that I played in the early and mid game, specifically with the jungle role, the river buffs, the warding. That was amazing. I was doing so well, but in the late game, my team fighting and being caught out and killed in the way that I was, yes, it resulted in a win, but I still think I could have avoided those deaths, and the win could have been more consistent and way more prominent, way more likely. I really hope that this video helped you if you're trying to learn jungle, maybe like Sevarog, or hopefully it was just entertaining. I really appreciate that support, and I hope that I could help in some way. If you guys liked it, remember to hit like. That's apparently important now on YouTube. If you want to see more of this style, definitely let me know. So if there's any character that you would love to see this on, let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.